In a sunny suburban neighborhood, life moves at a gentle pace. Brightly colored houses line the streets, each one surrounded by well-tended lawns and blooming flower beds. The public sidewalk is more than just a path, it serves as a vital connection for neighbors to greet one another, children to play, and friends to chat while enjoying the fresh air. On weekends, families stroll by with their little ones, often stopping to wave or share a quick laugh. This cheerful backdrop is essential for creating a strong community bond. People in this neighborhood like to feel safe and connected, exchanging stories over their picket fences or while watering their gardens. It's a place where everyone knows each other's names, and friendly faces are always nearby. However, as charming as it is, Karen has become increasingly worried about the number of suspicious walkers passing her house. She feels uneasy with strangers so close to her home. The once inviting sidewalk now stirs anxiety in her heart. Hoping to enhance her sense of security, she decides to install a decorative metal gate right across the sidewalk. This bold move raises eyebrows among her neighbors, who can't quite understand why she would block a space that fosters their friendly interactions. What was intended as a safety measure soon becomes a point of contention. The vibrant social atmosphere of the neighborhood is about to face an unexpected test. Karen was a middle-aged woman with a flair for style, often seen in her upscale casual outfits and elegant high heels. Despite her polished appearance, a sense of unease had taken root in her heart. She began to notice more unfamiliar faces wandering through her neighborhood and felt increasingly threatened by the suspicious walkers she encountered daily. Each passerby made her skin crawl, turning her once peaceful home into a source of anxiety. In a desperate attempt to reclaim her sense of safety, Karen decided to take action. Inspired by her worries, she envisioned a solution that would not only protect her but also assert her control over the situation. After much deliberation, she purchased a decorative metal gate and installed it along the sidewalk adjacent to her house. To her, this new addition was more than just a barrier, it was a safety enclosure that promised peace of mind. As she stood proudly by the gate, however, she couldn't shake off the murmurs of confusion from her neighbors. They watched her with raised eyebrows as they questioned the need for such an obstruction. Rather than feeling reassured, many were left feeling frustrated by Karen's decision. The vibrant community atmosphere that once flourished now experienced ripples of discontent as residents debated the implications of this new gate on their friendly interactions. Little did they know, the unfolding events would soon take a chaotic turn. As the days went by, the once vibrant neighborhood buzzed with chatter about Karen's new gate. Neighbors gathered in small groups, their whispers filled with confusion and concern. Many were unsure what to make of Karen's abrupt decision, especially since the sidewalk had always been a place where families walked, children played, and neighbors exchanged friendly greetings. One sunny afternoon, Mrs. Thompson, who lived 2 doors down, knocked on Karen's door. With a friendly smile, she tried to initiate a conversation. "Karen, I noticed the new gate you installed. I hope everything is all right," she asked gently. But Karen, feeling defensive, quickly replied, "I just wanted to feel safe in my own home." Meanwhile, Mr. Garcia, a retired schoolteacher, stood on his porch, shaking his head. "This is a public sidewalk. We can't just block it off," he muttered to his wife. She nodded in agreement, concerned about the effect on community gatherings that often took place there. Other neighbors followed suit, expressing their discontent during neighborhood meetings and social media pages. They worried that Karen's gate symbolized a growing fear that could fracture their close-knit community. As Karen listened to the murmurs and felt the weight of their stares, she began to question whether her protective measure was pushing her further away from the very safety and connection she sought to create. Little did she know, the situation was about to escalate even more dramatically. As the discontent among neighbors grew, it wasn't long before complaints reached the local city council. Residents voiced their concerns about Karen's gate blocking access to the public sidewalk. They argued that it was a fundamental part of their neighborhood, essential for walking, playing, and maintaining connections among families. The city quickly took action, sending a representative to assess the situation. Dressed in a formal blazer and carrying a clipboard, the representative knocked on Karen's door. After receiving numerous complaints, we have to inform you that your gate is in violation of local laws regarding public access, he stated firmly but kindly. Karen felt her heart sink as she listened. But I just wanted to keep my home safe, she protested, looking for any semblance of understanding from him. The representative nodded empathetically but explained that safety couldn't come at the expense of community space. A notice was issued, the gate had to be removed within 2 weeks. Word spread like wildfire, and neighbors felt mixed emotions, some relieved that their concerns were being addressed, others feeling a pang of sympathy for Karen. As she took down the gate, mixed feelings washed over her, disappointment for losing her barrier and uncertainty about how her neighbors would receive her next steps. Tension lingered in the air as she prepared for what seemed like an inevitable fallout with those around her. Little did Karen know that an unexpected event was on the horizon that would challenge her perception of safety and community even further. Just as Karen was preparing to remove the gate, a sudden commotion erupted. Her small dog, a feisty little terrier named Benny, darted out of the house in a burst of energy. Driven by curiosity and the thrill of freedom, Benny found the unlatched gate wide open. Before Karen could react, he slipped through and bounded down the sidewalk, his leash trailing behind him like a little flag of independence. Panic set in as she watched her beloved pet race away. "Benny," she called, her voice rising in alarm. The sight of her dog running free sent adrenaline coursing through her veins. She hurried to the gate, only to realize it was still locked in place. In a frantic fit, she decided to climb over the decorative metal barrier, her high heels making the task even more difficult. She felt a mix of embarrassment and urgency as she clumsily maneuvered over it, trying to maintain some semblance of grace. Meanwhile, neighbors who had been watching from their porches were now filled with disbelief and amusement at the unexpected scene unfolding before them. One neighbor quickly pulled out a smartphone to capture the chaos, chuckling as Karen stumbled while desperately chasing after Benny. What had started as a simple act of caution transformed into a comedic chase that would soon catch fire online. Little did Karen know that this moment of chaos would not only change her view on safety but also connect her to her community in a way she never anticipated. With her heart racing, Karen scrambled over the gate, her high heels clicking loudly against the metal. Each step felt precarious as she struggled to maintain her balance, feeling both embarrassed and determined. "Benny! Come back," she shouted, her voice echoing in the sunny suburban street. The little terrier was already several yards ahead, obliviously enjoying his newfound freedom, his leash trailing behind like a playful banner. Neighbors peeked out from their porches and windows, wide-eyed with a mix of surprise and amusement at the scene unfolding before them. Some couldn't help but chuckle as Karen awkwardly maneuvered across her neatly trimmed lawn, her heels occasionally sinking into the grass. She stumbled slightly, regaining her footing just in time to see Benny dart around a mailbox before he made a sharp turn down another street. As more onlookers gathered, one neighbor raised their smartphone and started recording, capturing every chaotic moment of Karen's clumsy chase. "This is going to be good," they exclaimed, already picturing the laughter that would ensue when they shared the video online. Karen felt a mix of frustration and absurdity as she ran after her dog, realizing how ridiculous it must look to everyone watching. Yet, amid the laughter surrounding her, there was an undeniable sense of community forming around this unexpected event. What had begun as a desperate attempt for safety turned into a comedic spectacle that brought neighbors together in a way Karen never expected. As Karen stumbled through her manic chase, the reactions from her neighbors varied widely. Some stood frozen in shock, unable to believe what they were witnessing. Their eyes darted between Karen's awkward movements and Benny's energetic leaps down the street. Others burst into laughter, their giggles echoing down the block as they pointed at her clumsy attempts to regain control of the situation. One neighbor, Mrs. Henderson, chuckled so loudly that it drew the attention of everyone around. "This is better than a comedy show," she called out, her laughter infectious. Another group of teenagers leaned against a tree, phones in hand, ready to capture every moment for social media, thinking about how many likes this chaotic chase would earn. A few older residents exchanged amused glances as they peered through their curtains, whispering about Karen's determination and Benny's stubbornness. "She should have trained that pup better," one remarked jokingly as they watched Karen nearly trip on her heels while trying to regain her footing. Meanwhile, Jimmy, a 10-year-old with a knack for humor, shouted encouragement to Benny, "Run, little doggy. You can do it." The unexpected cheers only added to the hilarity of the moment. Caught up in an unforeseen spectacle, the neighborhood witnessed not only an entertaining slant on Karen's struggle but also a boost in community spirit as shared laughter united them all. This moment of chaos bridged gaps and softened tensions caused by earlier disagreements about the gate, all thanks to a runaway dog and a determined neighbor in high heels. In that chaotic moment, the heart of suburban life shone brightly. The picturesque neighborhood, usually marked by calm and routine, erupted into a spontaneous gathering as neighbors emerged from their homes, drawn by the excitement unfolding on their street. What began as a serious effort to enhance safety rapidly turned into a light-hearted spectacle that showcased the charm of community living. As Karen chased Benny, residents cheered and laughed together, momentarily forgetting their previous concerns over the gate. Children joined in the fun, running alongside the terrier with glee, celebrating his freedom rather than lamenting Karen's predicament. This shared experience highlighted how quickly things could change, an ordinary day swept into chaos by a single playful pup. Amidst the laughter and encouragement from her neighbors, Karen began to see the humor in her situation. Her earlier worries faded as she recognized that life in their suburban haven was often filled with unexpected twists. Little mishaps like this one were precisely what bonded them, a testament to the unpredictable nature of everyday life. As footage of her antics began circulating online, bonding neighbors further and creating laughter beyond their block, Karen reluctantly embraced her role as an unwitting comedian. In that moment of thrill and hilarity, she discovered how comforting it was to share laughter with others. It reminded everyone that even in a world where fear can take hold, joy and connection often emerge when least expected, turning ordinary days into cherished memories. As the video of Karen's chaotic chase began circulating online, it quickly captured the attention of people far beyond her neighborhood. Neighbors shared the footage on various social media platforms, and the comedic spectacle of a well-dressed woman in high heels clumsily bounding after a runaway dog resonated with viewers everywhere. The laughter it generated was infectious, with countless comments flooding in. "Who else can relate to this struggle?" one user wrote, while another chimed in, "This is why I don't wear heels when walking my dog." Memes sprang up overnight, depicting Karen and Benny in humorous scenarios that played on the absurdity of the chase. It didn't take long for the hashtag #ChasingKaren to trend, as more people joined in on the fun. Much to her surprise, Karen found herself at the center of this viral moment. Although initially embarrassed, she soon embraced her newfound fame. In some ways, the experience felt liberating. Her worries about safety faded into the background as she saw how many people could relate to her predicament. Sympathy poured in along with laughter, as viewers appreciated not just the humor but also the underlying message about community and connection. Karen's once fraught relationship with her neighbors began to shift as they rallied around her newfound popularity. The shared experience transformed their earlier frustrations into an opportunity for connection, further solidifying their bonds in this delightful yet unexpected twist of suburban life. In the end, Karen's journey highlights the delicate balance between seeking safety and embracing community. Her initial decision to install a gate stemmed from genuine concern for her well-being, reflecting a common desire to protect one's home. However, the humorous chaos that ensued when Benny escaped showcased how quickly intentions can spiral into unexpected, light-hearted moments. As the viral video spread laughter across social media, it transformed Karen from a worried homeowner into an unwitting community celebrity. Rather than isolating her further, this experience brought her neighbors together in shared joy, reminding everyone that life can be unpredictable and often amusing. The very mishap that highlighted her fears ultimately illuminated the bonds that connect them all. The event served as a powerful reminder that while safety is essential, it should not come at the expense of community spirit and connection. In chasing after Benny, Karen inadvertently chased away her apprehensions and embraced the warmth of camaraderie among her neighbors. What could have been a divisive moment instead fostered unity through laughter and understanding. Karen's story resonates with many, illustrating how even in our efforts to create barriers for protection, we should remain open to experiences that draw us closer together. Through shared laughter in everyday situations, we can find strength in our communities and cherish the unpredictable nature of life that binds us all. This heartwarming conclusion reveals that sometimes, it's the humorous realities of our lives that truly showcase the power of connection.